This podcast is brought to you by Rocket Fuel. They did not sponsor this message, nor did they approve it, but we love them.
We're cutting that part out until we get a paycheck.
Rocket Fuel is a video production company that handles all things commercial, social media content, and everything video production. So,
and they do have merch.
And their merch is absolutely fire.
I wear this vest everywhere I go.
Hit them up for any of your video production needs.
That was a nice little plug.
Thank you. Have you ever taken an enzyme before?
Yeah, my probiotics have enzymes in them.
It's so good.
It kind of makes my tummy upset.
Well, it breaks down all the major, it breaks down your carbs, your fats, and your proteins better. So maybe that's why it's working. It's like,
oh, I always take it and I'm like, oh, I have a tummy ache. I won't be taking these again. And then I try again in a week.
And then the cycle continues.
Yeah. My tummy stay hurting.
Gosh.
They do say hot girls have tummy problems, though.
They do say hot girls have tummy problems. So, hello.
Joke's on y'all.
Oh, welcome back.
We back.
Welcome back to Retired Chaos. Emily's going to Colorado tomorrow, and we're not drinking today. Just kidding.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
No, definitely drinking. Yeah, I am going to Colorado tomorrow. I'm going to see my gal, Sarah.
Shout out, Sarah.
Sari, I know you're listening.
Shout out.
I know she's not.
But what are you guys going to do in Colorado?
I think we're going to hit just a chill weekend. We may dabble in some legal activities.
Mm-hmm.
Legal activity. Yeah. World Cup is Saturday, so we're definitely going to go watch the games on Saturday. Well, there's some Friday too, but we're both working on Friday.
Nice.
So we're probably just going to hang out. We love to chill. That's kind of our thing.
Horizontal.
Yeah.
A quick backstory. This podcast almost was named Horizontal Activities, but we thought that maybe that might not be best for marketing purposes.
Yeah. It can't apply to every topic.
It can't. I mean, it's just horizontal, conversations that we have horizontally.
Yeah.
But, other people may think it's a sex podcast, if I'm being honest. Because, what do you do when you're horizontal? You six.
Miss ma'am.
I'm so sorry.
Our parents are not listening.
My parents are Mexican. They don't know what that means.
Oh, yikes.
They'll be like, mija, what is it, 69? 69? I do not know.
Yes.
Mom, don't worry about it. It's just a number.
Yeah. It's an inside joke, Mom.
Anyways, welcome back to Retired Chaos.
It's going to be interesting today.
It was a last minute topic, and I think it's very relevant to just things that we have been living in life in general over the past couple of years, and just the rise of social media and all of that, and how would you describe this topic? I mean, it's really all about perspectives.
Yeah, perspectives, accepting other perspectives, having healthy debates when someone doesn't have the same views as you do. Mm-hmm. I think that's gotten lost in translation somewhere over the rise of social media times, I think
so too. And just the rise of false information and just everything on the internet. Yeah. You can probably find something that
pushes your narrative.
Yeah, gives your narrative credibility. I mean, you could literally find anything on the internet that is swayed in that direction.
Yeah, and I think people take it and run with it, to be honest. And sometimes it causes a little bit of friction between people, and not the sexual kind. Sorry, I lost control there.
The one where, hey, you break up with your freaking family members and you don't invite them for Thanksgiving, or you break up with during the pandemic, I heard so many crazy stories about people uninviting friends to weddings and get-togethers because they had different perspectives. And it's wait a second, we've been friends for X amount of years.
Yeah.
All of a sudden we have one off thing and we're no longer friends.
Yeah, I think that's the whole problem. There's so much tension around if you see things different ways in your friends or family, And it causes such a point of contention that people are literally willing to end friendships and relationships over it.
It's so crazy. And I'd like to think that me and you are pretty neutral about a majority of things. Like, I personally, and I think you do really good at this, especially in our relationship, like, we're good at having healthy debates.
Sure.
I won't say that like we're experts, because I think that, you know, I have faults and
Same.
yeah, but I think for the most part, like, we stay pretty neutral, and at the end of the day, we don't let different perspectives or different views of life get in the way.
Totally. And I think like I don't know if it's like a generational thing or what, but I think you are more inclined to like be friends with people that have similar views as you and values, and of course, but not everybody has the same perspective on everything.
Right.
Like, and I think that now social media and like news media too has such a strong impact on like the thought process of I think our generation, and especially the younger generation, that like it kind of sways everything. Sways. Persuade. Sway. Whatever.
Isn't suede like a type of texture, fabric?
Yeah, that's why I was like, yeah, suede's cool.
Yeah.
Suede's tight. Yeah, I'm bad with words. Like, whatever.
Can't speak. Sorry.
Yeah, but definitely trust what I'm saying here.
Yeah. These are factual things.
Shoot. But yeah, I think like we're more inclined to, you know, stick with people that have similar views and values. But I think there's like faults in that too.
I agree. The majority of people that you have and you're bonded with, you tend to keep in your life because they do have similar beliefs and similar journeys and similar goals and all of that. But you also have different walks of life and different perspectives.
Yes.
And just because there are certain debates around certain topics that you do not agree with, it does not mean that you all of a sudden remove yourself. I would say that to have those debates and to understand how to do it correctly is healthy.
Yeah, definitely healthy. And I think that's like why we wanted to do this topic, is to kind of like promote like healthy debate or like differing views, and like having those conversations, like that can only help you grow at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But people handle it differently.
I think it all depends on like personalities and just like being stubborn and all this stuff. But I think it promotes critical thinking. I think it helps you articulate and communicate your thoughts better. Like, I think a lot of things, but I can't articulate or explain to somebody correctly what's in my brain.
I feel the exact same way.
Oh my God.
I'm like, why do all these thoughts in my brain make perfect sense, but when I try to say them, it's not coming out the way I'm thinking it.
It comes out as gibberish.
Yeah, or like it just comes out as like statements, or rather than like, you know.
Yeah.
Conversational value.
Conflict helps people, like people's relationships, whether it's a partner, a family member, a friend, helps it grow. Grow from like the intimacy side of things, because conflict and being able to resolve conflict and come to a mutual agreement together builds your trust in that person.
Respect.
You know, you're able to be more vulnerable with them, because you know that they're gonna react healthy and they're gonna make you feel heard. And overall, that just builds your relationship with them.
Totally. I think it's beneficial for whoever is involved, and sometimes it does like get a little heated, and I think that's where this comes in. It's like, how do you handle, you know, debates when they're getting heated, or when they're, you know, super different? Like, are you going to be accepting of it, or are you going to disengage, or you know, kind of push your own values or beliefs onto somebody else? There's nothing but growth that can come from it.
Just understanding other people's, like, okay, this is how you think, you know? So
like, we don't have it all figured out, and it's crazy to think that whatever you believe is the right way. Like, there really is no right way.
Right. And
everybody's different.
I think that's one of the reasons why disagreements don't work.
I think that people are stubborn. People think that what they think is right, and you're almost like not willing to hear a different perspective, or maybe you like push, you know, what your perspective is onto them, and you know, it turns into almost like a condescending conversation rather than a mutual conversation.
Yeah. So I actually looked this up because when we were talking about this topic, I was like, okay, what are the personality traits? Why do people fight? And it was like narcissism is one of them, because it's like narcissism is basically like in this sense is, okay, they understand your problem or they understand your perspective. They just don't give a fuck.
Right.
Like they don't care because they think that they have this like godlike complex. They're above it all. Mm-hmm. And doesn't matter your perspective, their perspective is right, and that is it.
Right.
And then there's another side of it that I actually learned, and I was
How do you
like,
say it?
wait a second.
How do you say it?
Egocentrism.
We're really struggling with our words today.
Egocentrism.
Egocentricity.
Is that a word? I don't know.
That's what Google told me.
Weber, add it.
It's Webster.
Dude, this is exactly what the fuck I'm talking about.
This is not going great so far. Should we start keeping a tally of how many words we fuck up in this episode? I think we're running on like 6 now.
Oh, and that's what editing is for, folks.
Yeah.
Okay, no, seriously. How do you say ego?
Waffles.
Ego. Wait, waffles.
Egocentricity.
Exactly. Bang. See what happens when you get just confidence and you just say it like you know. Fuck. So that is, the definition is, and I have it on my phone because I needed it. It refers to someone's inability to understand that other person's view or opinion that may be different from their own.
Okay.
Because it's the ego, like it's the center of their ego. Like it's basically like, this is my world and you're just living in it. Kind of like when you're on social media or you do something like in public and you fuck up and you automatically think that people are watching you and people care a lot about you, when in reality no one cares about you as much as you think.
Yeah.
So it's like these people that walk around that genuinely believe this way about themselves, so much that they simply cannot comprehend your perspective.
Right.
Which is insane.
That's a little unhealthy if you ask me.
Yeah. And I think overall too, you even mentioned it, it was like we live in a world where instant gratification is a thing. Mm-hmm. And people want to get to the solution, get to the answer so fast that they're willing to cut corners.
Right.
And not hear you out and not even want to understand. Like they don't want to understand because they just want to get to the solution. They want to persuade you from what they think.
Yeah, I think a lot of people just look for like almost like community in their beliefs, that they're like unwilling to, or maybe not unwilling, but they're less inclined to hear you out because they just want to hear that you agree with them, or like, you know, we have the same perspective on this. Like
they want to be validated in their thoughts.
Right.
Versus somebody challenging them and then potentially being wrong.
Exactly. And now we live in this like world of social media, instant gratification. Like you literally get everything within seconds. And if you don't, it's like a problem, which I think we all suffer from, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I think that we need to bring back having healthy debates and like respecting each other's different views. And you can still be friends with someone or have a relationship with someone if you don't have the same views and perspective as them.
Yeah.
Like that helps you grow as a person.
Yeah. And you said something that I relate to because I am somebody that historically, even to the present day, I'm like, historically it was back then. No, it's not. I'm going to be self-aware.
It was yesterday.
It was actually yesterday. I'm a victim of this. I'm not a victim. Woe is not me. But, you know, you get it. It's like you are so quick that you don't slow down and give yourself time to process. And so you're too emotional at the end of the day to think logically. You're too emotional to think anything else but besides you're challenging me and you're wrong.
Right.
And then it's like you don't really even give yourself the ability to say, okay, slow down, process what they said, and also figure out what you're trying to get out of this conversation. Right? Like if you're trying to just, the end goal for you is trying to persuade somebody to agree with you, you're already starting off the debate toxic.
Yeah. I think I used to like struggle with this whenever I was having conversations like this with people. I wanted to get my point across so badly that I wouldn't even almost wouldn't even respond to what they were saying. I would just say the point that was in my head and like get it out. Like I had this like terrible interrupting problem. My sister used to be like, dude, we fucking get it. Like, just wait your turn. I'm like, oh, hell.
Yeah.
I did it again.
Selective hearing.
Yeah.
I mean, I still struggle with this. I think everyone to a certain extent struggles if you're not very intentional. A lot of us, and social media has a lot to do with this, and just like the habit of being on autopilot. And if you're on autopilot 90% of your life, like you're just naturally going to react to what your brain is used to, the habits that you've already naturally formed, the opinions that you have already naturally formed throughout your life, whether it's like from your parents or just from your upbringing, that you just like react rather than respond.
That's so true. React versus respond
is a huge thing.
Damn.
I'm
gonna write that down.
Pencil it in. But I think that if you're willing to
just open your mind,
yeah.
Like don't be so closed-minded. And I think, I mean, we just keep coming back to like social media and news media, like especially news media. Like there's so many like news channels that are, you know, centered around certain beliefs and like this and that. And you are, you know, you have your channels that you watch, and like I think unknowingly you adopt these like opinions and, you know, perspectives from things that you see. And that, you know, whenever your friends, you know, see the same thing, watch the same things, it's like, okay, well, that's fine. But what about like the other side of things? And I think we need to like branch out more and like have those conversations and grow your mind a little bit. And it's okay if you disagree. You have to learn how to handle those conversations.
Yep.
And respond and react accordingly. Respond and react.
Not that this matters because I spent my entire college career wasted. Sorry.
Relatable.
But I saw a TikTok where it was like communication majors are like the dumbest people ever. And I was like, I minored in communication.
I also did. That's pretty crazy right there.
That's fucking weird.
The math is mathing. That's odd.
All right, that's cool. Anyways, one thing that really stuck to me is the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
Okay.
And that's the one thing out of my minor that was like, oh shit.
I know at least 2.
Which ones? Quiz time.
Okay. Criticism.
Yes. For example, if Emily, tell me, what is the one food that you don't like that you know I like
olives.
That triggers me?
But the answer is olives.
And you're fucking stupid for that.
Criticism turned into hate very quickly there.
Okay, maybe that was a bad example of criticism. Hold on. Okay, run it back.
Yeah, run it back.
Run it back.
I hate olives.
Well, I think that is very stupid of you. And
you just reworded the exact same point.
I think that your palate is on elementary level.
Listen, we went from criticizing to insulting very quickly. I feel a little offended.
Okay. Hold on. Okay.
Please dial it back.
Okay.
My feelings are on the line here.
I mean, I did talk a whole ass segment last podcast about how you're a chef. Now I'm telling you
What's good and what's not. That's so crazy.
that is so crazy of me. You see, an uneducated, closed off mind can get yourself into some trouble.
I think I just don't like them because they're bitter, but that's neither here nor there.
Like, you always ruin my favorite foods.
Are you freaking done?
That's a good criticism.
I feel like maybe you have built up a bit of resentment about the olives. And this is how you're taking it out.
No. The last one was criticism, though. Like, because, like, I feel like you are, like you know, like you point blame at this person.
Yeah.
The first two were really just not great.
They were digs.
They were bad.
Digs.
They were bad. They were really bad. Okay. Wait, what's the other one that you said, you know?
Stonewalling.
Stonewalling.
Because I think I do that. I have to like take things in and process them, and it does take me like a little while.
Stonewalling is when you legitimately disengage from the conversation.
Yeah, if I do get to
ignore.
a point of like, okay, I've had enough of this.
You ignore, you know what I
stop
mean?
responding.
Like, exactly. And that is stonewalling.
Yeah.
Now, if you're taking a little bit of time to process, that's different. If the other person knows that you are just taking time to process, I wouldn't consider that stonewalling.
Okay.
But if the other person feels abandoned in their emotions and feel like you completely disregarded them and disregarded the conflict that they so much care about, that's what stonewalling is.
I think I fall in between the spectrum.
I mean, it just kind of depends on like people knowing you know.
Yeah.
That's just also another thing, and just forming those friendships and forming that trust as you do fight. Like, I now know, and I've gotten used to, since we communicated over the years of being friends, that I know you're not abandoning me. I know that you're processing.
I got you for life.
You know? Yeah.
Oh, wait.
For life.
Sorry.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
so sorry.
So
Am I
sorry.
okay today? I'm just not sure.
You're not.
Yeah.
Okay, the third one is getting defensive. That is like...
Yeah.
Because you can't have a conversation with somebody when they are just, like, so defensive and feel like... And they're, like, yelling at you, or they're just completely closed off and just, like, you're wrong, I'm right. Like, that is defense no matter how you word it.
Yeah.
If you get to that point with that other person and they are defensive, you're not going to have a good conversation at all. You need to separate for a little bit and come back.
Yeah.
Because once you're defensive, that's a sign of just closing your brain off. You're not open to any other suggestions. You're done.
I think I used to be like that. Like, if anybody would tell me, like, I'm wrong, or, like, you're wrong, or whatever, I would just get so defensive, and I would get, like, heated. And
defensive is just defending your side. Like, you're just defending your side. It's like, okay.
Yeah, but it would be, like, you know, it would, like, make me mad. And I would, you know, start getting, like, defensive. And it doesn't help the conversation at all whenever you do that.
No.
Because then at that point, you're just kind of like going in circles. Like, well, I think this. Well, I think that. And it's like, okay, well, how can we
come together and like discuss.
Figure out what we're both trying to say healthily. But I think over time, like, you kind of learn, you know, you get into tips with people or whatever, and you kind of just learn, like, okay, that's what, like what you were saying. Yeah. Like, you learn people, you learn how they communicate and things like that. But that's not always the case, you know? Like, you can have, like, people that you barely know and have constructive conversation, and then the opposite, people you barely know, and, you know, you're just talking in circles for minutes and hours.
It's just like a selfish kind of thing, you know? Another thing is also, like, getting a little bit off topic of, like, bad tips on arguing, because I do have, like, the last one. But it's also, like, this selfish thinking for whatever reason with friends that, like, you think that you can treat them or talk to them however you want because they're already your friends, or, like, they're already your blood, like family members, for example, or, like, your relationship, and you don't think that, like, anything's gonna happen because they're, like, in your life already. Like, that's not the case.
Right.
You can very much fuck shit up.
Yeah.
No matter how loyal they've been with you, like, to you, no matter how long you've been friends with them, You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think some people think they got it like that.
I got it like that.
Yeah. And it's like, you're being a little cunty, okay? You need to tone it down.
Wow.
And then I would say the last one, which really grinds my gears, is mocking.
Oh.
People mock a lot, I've seen, especially on the internet.
Yeah.
And it is so disrespectful.
Yeah, it really is. And the fact that grown adults still act like that.
It is beyond me.
Off 'em now.
Look, I just want to put this out there on the internet and in public and right now to you, most importantly, that I love you, even if you don't love olives. I think we can agree to disagree.
Wow, that's really unconditional of you.
Like, thank you. Like, I don't change the way that I see you. I don't think that you're a bad person because you don't like olives. You know what I mean?
Sweet.
And that's the point I'm trying to make. All of a sudden, you rule somebody out as like a terrible person because of their beliefs or their views or whatever.
Yeah, and like I think there's like hot topics that cause, disagreements, especially. But I'm just not one to like rule someone out because they have a different perspective than me. Like, but there are so many people, especially nowadays, that do that. Mm-hmm. And it is so concerning to me. I mean, like, to give an example, like, my parents had so many friends growing up that had different political views or a different religion or whatever. And it was just not a thing to, like, not be friends with them. Like, they actually, like, loved that more. Like, that's who they wanted to be friends with. Because it just, it stimulates you a little bit. Like, you have these conversations and you're able to see other perspectives. And I think that's great. And I think that's what maybe we're missing nowadays.
I do agree with that. You drain more of your energy with negative versus trying to be calm and trying to be positive and continuing to have like a good perspective on that person. Mm-hmm. Like, your energy just gets drained. Like, I don't know why people just get triggered and then stay triggered, especially on the internet for somebody that you don't fucking know. Like, that shit is wild to me.
That's a whole different topic. I actually maybe thought about doing
we can
a topic about like
triggered are us.
No. That's fucking funny right there.
Thank you.
I don't care who you are. That's funny right there.
Funny.
Yeah, just like people that comment and like start fights on social media comments. Like, dude, do you have a job? Like, how do you have time for this?
I've seen grown ass women and men be like, this comment?
Yeah.
And then you go to their profile and it's like a 12-year-old kid just fucking around. And it's like, dude, like, he was just being a little shithead. Like, come on. I feel like the only reason that, like, any kind of comment on social media or just, like, online in general would trigger you is that, like, you, like, feel it within yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
Projection.
Yes, it is projection of self.
Yeah, everything else.
Think about that when you get triggered. How do you control a healthy debate and not let it get railed off?
Point number 1 is just having respect for the other person. I know that, like, seems so obvious. We're, like, kind of prone to disregard the fact that, like, okay, this person is a person too. I think if you, like, go into it with an open mind and, like, okay, I'm gonna respect what this person has to say. Yeah.
If you don't have respect for the person that you're about to engage in, like, a debate in, because you just simply don't think they don't have credibility of anything at all, pick your own battles. That's not a battle that you want to fight because you already have no care in the world for what they're going to say.
Yeah.
Move on.
And also, like, you don't ever need to be thinking, like, I need to teach this person a lesson. Like, if that person, like, is unknowledgeable about the topic that they're speaking on, like, you don't need to be condescending.
Time you go into a sales like call, it's like, if you go in as a salesperson with a specific goal in mind, that's all you're thinking about, and you're not even listening to you're not listening to understand at that point. You're listening to get your outcome. That's the key words
right there.
Listen to understand.
Yes.
And be flexible on the outcome.
Yes. That's some words of wisdom right there, Mar. Damn, drop the mic right now.
Damn. And that's all, folks. We got to go. See ya.
Yeah, she'll sign off on that one. Remember her well.
And the last one, I would say the most important one is be ready to debate, aka be calm and logical.
Yeah. And formulate your own opinions on things. Don't let social media and news media guide you, or like, of course guide, but not have your own original thoughts too.
I think using social media and the news and all of that, I think it has its benefits. I think it's using it to be informed, but not to be emotionally persuaded. Anyways, I hope you guys don't judge me for the insults that I threw at Emily about the olives. It's still fresh on my mind. I was trying to give an example and it failed miserably.
Yeah, you know I'm not offended easily, so it's all Gucci.
Anyways, thanks for hanging out with us. I hope you guys liked this episode and you found it fun. And we'll see you next week. This is
Retired Chaos.
Retired Chaos. Boom, 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 boom. Retired Chaos. See ya.
Bye.